By far, the most controversial form of cheating is sign stealing. Some of it is allowed, some of it is not. And there have been a ton of teams in recent memory, not named the Astros, who have been accused, caught, and started fights for going too far. In 2011, an article written by ESPN alleged that multiple anonymous relievers claimed they saw a man in Toronto sitting in the outfield, signaling to Blue Jays hitters what pitch was coming by raising his hands above his head for off-speed pitches. The next inning, when Jose Bautista went to his position, a pitcher in the bullpen screamed at him, quote, "If you do it again, I'm going to hit you in the head." Using clues from the article, it's easy to determine that the game in question occurred against the White Sox in April, where the TV broadcast shows a man in white sitting in center field in perfect view of the hitter in the 6th inning. In the 8th inning, after the White Sox confronted the Blue Jays for stealing signs, the man was gone. Exactly how the anonymous source described. Shortly before this article, the Yankees broadcast, and the Red Sox all seemed extremely suspicious when playing in Toronto. And perhaps the most damning evidence was that the entire team's offensive stats were dramatically better at home than on the road. 5 Blue Jays players had an OPS at least 99 points higher at home than on the road. When making contact, the team was 18% more likely to hit a home run at home, a discrepancy that's only been seen 3 times since 1950. Players are constantly trying to steal signs. When a runner gets to second, he is looking at the catcher's signs. If he can decode the signs, he will use some form of secret signal like touching his knee or helmet to show the hitter what pitch is coming. In 2021, Johan Oviedo told Mike Yastrzemski to, quote, "shut the up," because he thought he was stealing signs. Turns out, Yastrzemski didn't even know the signs and was just making signals to get into his head. However, if Yastrzemski was doing this, it would be completely legal as long as he wasn't using technology to do it. That's what caused this altercation in 2014. Chris Sale was facing Victor Martinez when in the middle of an at-bat, he started staring in the outfield. He believed Martinez had a guy in the outfield with binoculars telling Martinez what pitch was coming. He went on to strike Martinez out, then tipped his cap to the right center field wall. He escalated this further by mocking the Tigers by pretending to use binoculars in the dugout, then drilled Martinez with the very next pitch he threw to him. They stared each other down and the benches cleared. Later in the game, the Tigers hit a double and started mocking Sale by doing the binocular signs themselves. This was not the first time a team has accused another team of doing this. The Phillies did this by putting a guy in center field to decode signs, then installed an underground wire hooked up to an electrical box they buried underneath the third base coach's box that would buzz depending on what pitch was coming. The hitters would literally see their coach vibrate and know what pitch was coming. Unfortunately, this was extremely obvious, and one day an opponent went to the third base coaching box in the middle of the game and started digging. This was in 1898. In 2010, the Phillies got more accusations after the Rockies broadcast picked up a video of their bullpen coach looking through binoculars and Shane Victorino talking to the bullpen in the middle of the game for some reason. The Phillies got a warning from MLB. In the 50s, the Brewers put 2 pitchers in the Wrigley Field bleachers, had them take their shirts off to fit in, then used binoculars and a game program to steal and relay signs. In 1973, manager Whitey Herzog accused the Brewers mascot of cheating by doing specific chants and dances in center field when he knew a certain pitch was coming, and saying, quote, "if he does that again tomorrow, I'm going to climb up there into his little house and personally kick his ass." In 2018, the Red Sox got caught using a replay room to decode the catcher's signs and give them to players, but they could only relay this information to the hitters if there was a runner on second. The Yankees got caught doing something pretty much identical in 2015 to 2016, but the Astros took this a step further. They had their own camera in center field with a live feed into the video room. They used an app called Decoder. By putting each sign the catcher puts down into the app, then entering what pitch is thrown into the app, it could tell you the exact sequence the pitcher was using, making it quick and easy to decode these signs. Someone right outside the dugout would watch a live feed of the signs, then bang on a trash can each time an off-speed pitch was coming. But the Astros probably weren't the only ones doing this. In 2021, Brewers catcher Eric Kratz claimed they caught the Rockies doing the exact same thing against them in 2018, saying they used to take a Theragun and bang it on their metal bench to signal what pitch was coming. His team, the Brewers, were also accused heavily after the scandal broke. Yu Darvish said that he had to step off the mound multiple times after noticing batters' eyes looking down the first base line right after he got the sign from the catcher. Yelich responded to Darvish by saying, quote, "Be better than this. Nobody needs help facing you." Chris Sale publicly said he knew for a fact other teams were cheating. Joey Votto said something very similar. A reporter said that he's heard the Rangers had a similar system. Another reporter tweeted that Adrian Beltre had a friend with binoculars in center field relaying signs to him, and that the Dodgers set up cameras all over Minute Maid Park to steal signs during the 2017 World Series. Later saying that these allegations were unfounded, he shouldn't have reported them, and that doing this, quote, turned his life upside down. But even if all these unfounded rumors were actually true, stealing signs probably doesn't even help as much as you think. The Astros could only steal signs at home, but when comparing their home and away stats, their strikeout rate was essentially the same, and their overall offensive production was exactly the same. But the biggest problem with stealing signs on every single pitch is that if you do it long enough, it becomes extremely obvious. Every sign stealing method I've mentioned was only able to happen for a season at most before it was discovered. The Astros trash can banging went on for only 4 months before the White Sox heard a bang, called time to change their signs, and that was the last time the Astros ever banged on a trash can. The Astros definitely could have found other ways to relay signs, but the entire league knew they were doing something. Rumors of the Astros sign stealing were spread across the league for almost 2 years before the scandal went public. MLB has since added a 10 to 30 second delay on TV to avoid this, as well as a new pitch comp system that allows catchers to give signs without using their fingers, making stealing signs even harder. And even if you do find a way around this, eventually pitchers are going to notice hitters not swinging at breaking balls out of the zone, the hitter looking where they're not supposed to, a suspicious person with binoculars, or someone on the team will go to another team and immediately tell his new team that his old team was cheating. So yes, MLB teams are always trying to steal signs, but even if they do it effectively, is it actually turning bad teams good and dramatically changing the outcome of games? Probably not.